Good evening and welcome to QNN. I'm Mike Ijashi.
And I'm Mark Spillane. It has been a tight election race this season, and the Quinnipiac community is speaking up about the results and if they voted. Quinnipiac students gathered inside the School of Business for a viewing of the film 2 Million Minutes on Wednesday night. The film looks at how students from China, India, and the United States manage the roughly 2 million minutes they spend in high school. The movie raises questions about global education and the impacts that differences may have on the college experience and the global economy.
The name of the Grand Courtroom in the former School of Law building has been changed to the Mount Carmel Auditorium. It is located in room 218 of the Center for Communications and Engineering. The school changed the name to avoid confusion between the Mount Carmel Avenue and the ceremonial courtroom in the new School of Law Center on the North Haven campus. Quinnipiac's interactive digital design program is changing from one school to another this year. Tom Albanese has more on the story.
The 2014 Alpha Delta Pi King of Diamonds has been crowned. Junior Paul Thompson won this year's competition on Monday. The event includes a Jeopardy round, a talent round, and even a choreographed dance. Admission costs $5 per person, and all proceeds went to the 80 Pi Foundation, which supports the Ronald McDonald House in New Haven. The Phi Sigma Sigma sorority hosted a Family Feud game show event on Tuesday at the BurtCon Court. The sorority used the event to raise money for Learn Today, Lead Tomorrow, which supports school and college readiness. Teams competing in the game show contest were randomly paired together, and the winner received $100 for their philanthropy of choice.
Quinnipiac's student-run TV station, Q30 Television, has received the 2014 College Media Association Pinnacle Award for Best College Television Station. Members of the organization received the award at the National College Media Convention in Philadelphia last Friday. Q30 is a QNN news partner and may be viewed on Channel 30 on both the Mount Carmel and York Hill campuses. A popular car maker has yet another recall, and you might see some more SUVs on the road.
Plus, social media may play a bigger role for news consumers than you think. Elijah Westbrook has more on national news. Elijah?
Thanks, guys. Ford has issued 5 safety recalls on Tuesday to fix a problem created while correcting a previous problem. The automaker is recalling over 35,000 Lincoln Town cars and Mercurys. The recalls involved airbag problems, a fuel line issue, and steering and brake pedal problems. Ford says there's been at least one accident involving the car, but no injuries have been reported. And a drop in gas prices has resulted in more people buying SUVs. The sales of many pickups and SUVs has skyrocketed in October as gas prices went down to nearly $3 around the country. That's nearly a 6% drop from January of this year. Sales of smaller fuel-efficient models decreased along with the prices at the gas pump. And with the elections happening on Tuesday, a recent study shows that social media sites like Facebook and Twitter play a big role in how people get their political information. The Pew Research Center says twice as many Americans use their phones to follow information about this year's election than they did during the last midterms. Of the registered voters who were surveyed, 16% said they followed politicians on social media. Just 6% said they did the same 4 years ago. And that's your national news for the week. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Elijah. Coming up on the QNN newscast, why Quinnipiac will be paying Hamden more than $1 million.
Plus some crazy things happened in Hamden last week. We'll be right back.
When Hamden residents want to get town information, they can always go down to Hamden Town Hall, or they can just use social media.
We don't use our social media as a way to reach out to people. We actually venture out into every information communication tool that we can.
Kurt Lang has been running the Hamden Facebook page since an office intern set it up 3 years ago. Some Hamden departments also use Twitter to post announcements specific to the department. Quinnipiac professor Richard Hanley says while he doesn't live in Hamden, he thinks Hamden's social media is variable at best.
What Hamden and other municipalities need to do is take social media very seriously and promote it in a way that gets anyone in town with an internet connection to like it or to follow it and to make sure they can use it effectively.
So how many residents follow the local government on social media? Hamden's most popular social media accounts are the Facebook page, which has over 4,700 likes, Hamden's firefighters' Twitter account, which has over 1,300 followers, and Mayor Scott Jackson's Twitter account, which has 554 followers. Hamden resident Danny DeJoya says he doesn't have a social media account, but feels it does keep people connected to the local government.
It does show activity, it does show progressive action, so it's an easy way to kind of keep people informed as what's going on.
While some residents say they do feel connected to the local government through social media, others say that a whole part of the town population is missing out.
You take out the 20-somethings that really don't care. You take out the senior citizens that really can't do it. And then what do you have? You have a middle-aged group population that would probably use it.
Lang says he is working to further develop the town's social media use so more residents will get involved.
I see it expanding probably faster than we would expect. And I also see the next step being more interactive, not just pushing information out, but actually having conversations.
From Hamden, Sarah Bernstein, Q30 News. Questions about poor health can typically be answered with bad eating habits and not working out. But some may suggest the healthcare system is partially to blame. Personal trainer and nutrition expert Dallas Argueso says part of the problem is the U.S. healthcare system is set up to take care of a health problem after it has already happened.
The United States has some of the highest rates of utilization of medical resources, which would be things like unnecessary tests that are done that are driving up healthcare costs without actually increasing the quality of healthcare.
So how much is actually spent on healthcare? According to a 2014 study by Harvard and the London School of Economics, the United States spends 17.9% of its gross domestic product on healthcare, which is more than what any other country spends. Research showed U.S. lifespans are shorter, infant mortality rates are higher, mental health is poorer, and obesity is more common.
While experts say poor nutrition and lack of exercise does contribute to the low life expectancies in the U.S., Dr. Kenty Drain says it's the social inequality.
If you're at the bottom, your labor policies are relatively weak in terms of protecting you, and so you're not allowed to take sick time, you're not allowed to take time off to take care of your own sick family members, and so you're going to have probably increased stress, and you're also going to have less time to actually take care of your health when you need to.
Dr. Kenty Drain has focused her research in the sociology field on social stratification and social class inequality. She says the upper class have less to worry about when taking care of their health.
People who are enjoying privilege in this society, who have wealth, assets, firm health insurance policies with their companies, who have labor policies at their companies that permit them time off for parental leave as well as sick leaves, I think it can make a big difference.
But Argueso says you don't have to have a lot of money to be able to live a healthy lifestyle.
Frozen and canned foods go a long way. You know, there is this misconception that they're not as healthy because they're not fresh. But in reality, they end up being fresher.
From Hamden, Sarah Bernstein, Q30 News. There has been a spike in crime over the past few months in Hamden, specifically in the Highwood Square area of Dixwell Avenue. To decrease the crime rates in that area, Legislative Council members approved to open a police substation here in this building on Dixwell. Hamden Police Chief Thomas Wydra says this substation will be a great way to reach out to the neighborhood.
When they are positioned in an effective way, they absolutely, and we know this from just talking to people and from research, they absolutely serve as a way to reduce people's fear of crime.
And the substation may just be what the town needs. According to the FBI's most recent crime statistics in Hamden, about 1,704 crimes are committed annually in Hamden. The odds of a Hamden resident becoming a victim of a crime are 1 in 36. Hamden resident Alex Ragland says he was robbed in that area on Dixwell a few months ago.
I was walking back and a couple of guys tried to get my attention, and I started to run, and they caught up with me, and I had a little scuffle with them, ended up on the floor, and they took my money, and I ran.
Ragland says the incident left him with some abrasions and that the crime in the area is getting worse.
It's a blind spot where there's no police. You know, there's no station, there's no one around except the guys that, the same couple of guys that patrol around. And this right here in this area, there's no police.
But Chief Wydra says the substation will change all that.
Reducing the fear of not only the community and residents, but also business owners. And so if our police officers use it in a way that we've used substations in the past, I think it will have an absolutely beneficial effect.
Hamden officials say that this new substation is set to open January 1st. Reporting from Hamden, Sarah Bernstein, Q30 News.